I realized that I'm energized about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And I kept feeling like I needed to go in a certain lane, that I needed to be this.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events.
Wall Street.
Black Wall Street.
And now, here's your host, Blair Durham.
Greetings.
Still celebrating the second anniversary of Black Wall Street Today. Super, super excited. And now it's time for our final guest, Miss Kathy Taylor. She is a speaker, trainer, author, and podcaster. Super passionate about connecting people with communication styles to create change. Kathy focuses on sharing practical strategies, tools, and processes to get positive results in the areas of personal, professional, and leadership development. Kathy has spent over 25 years teaching, training, and educating professionals in the public school setting within the Hampton Roads community and beyond. Her desire to listen before taking action has assisted her in being a sought-after consultant and trainer for new business owners, career seekers, and staff development trainings and workshops. As a learning facilitator, Kathy creates and shares knowledge through live and virtual training platforms, small group discussions, and professional business consulting. Her focus areas are related to personality assessment styles using the DISC model, situational leadership, people skills, career transformation, and resiliency. As a new business owner and career transition consultant, she hones into asking the tough questions focused on your why. Kathy's energized by helping people understand who they are now. She's always honored to be invited on the journey to see them evolve into who they are becoming. Welcome, welcome, Kathy. How are you?
Hello, Blair. Thank you so much for the opportunity to join you.
I am super excited to have you. Very interesting reading your bio because I know this Kathy, and then I know, Kathy who does event planning and so much more. We really appreciate just all of the skill and the expertise that you bring to the world, really. I was going to say to Hampton Roads, but you're bigger than that. So talk to us about just some of the work that you're doing to empower business owners, particularly in this season.
Yes, so right now it's really important to me for business owners to understand who they are in this season. A lot of times they are just moving. They just moving and shaking and doing a lot. But this time has caused us all to just pause for a minute.
Yes.
And a lot of times when we are in that quiet space, or because we've been sort of forced to pause, it's caused us to look like, wow, why was I so crazy busy?
Yeah.
And was I crazy busy doing the things that the reason why I started my business, the real passion, or did I get caught up in the race of doing the most?
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's what happens. So now is the time for us to all sort of reset and figure out, okay, what is my why? Why did I start doing business? Why did I start doing this particular business? And let me figure out how to get back to that place.
Yeah. It's interesting
and that's
point that you raised, because we can become kind of misaligned with all of the busy. And then sometimes it does take another person to kind of ground us, hold us accountable, ask us that question in order to get us back on track. But you were saying, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's the important thing, is just making sure that, one, we get back on track. And this time has forced a lot of us to really think about that. It's because we were off track. What do we need to do? What are the steps that need to be taken to get back on track? Yeah.
Yeah. And so I know as well you have launched an awesome podcast. Can we talk a little bit about that work and how that's going and what kinds of interviews you're conducting?
Yeah, I am so thrilled about this podcast. It's been a long time coming, and it's a part of the Diary of a Grown-Up brand. And the Diary of a Grown-Up is based on embracing the changes and challenges that come with growth in life as an adult. Because being a grown-up is hard, you know? Like, there's some great parts of it, but there's also a lot of lessons that have to be learned that we don't always get it right. But when you find out, when you have other people that you can have conversations with and you can sort of walk it out together and figure it out together, it makes it a little easier, and it makes you extend your self-grace a lot of times, because we don't always do that well.
Yeah, I think that's such an important niche in terms of the whole piece about growing up. I'm hesitant to even say it because, nothing about necessarily being a child prepares us really. And so I do think it's something that, we have to kind of come to terms with. And I like your approach in doing it, in that not only are we sharing it with each other in terms of you, the podcaster, and me, the guest, but we're also sharing that with the listeners who are in tune, gaining insights and clarifying their own perspective on what it means to be an adult. I'm loving the whole branding piece, like Diary of a Grown-Up, I Am Kathy Taylor. Talk to us about sort of what I Am Kathy Taylor entails, and the kinds of public speaking opportunities that you are taking and so forth.
Yeah, so in this time of us being forced into pausing or resetting, I had to start looking at myself and what's my why? And let me back up and get back to that as well. So I sought out a new coach, and when I started talking to her and sort of filling out some of the things in my own head and what's important to me, I realized that I'm energized about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And I kept feeling like I needed to go in a certain lane, that I needed to be this. And I started getting anxiety a little bit, or getting anxious a little bit, and saying, well, God, you made me good at this and you made me good at that. So am I supposed to choose one or the other? And I heard clearly that I need you, Kathy Taylor.
Wow.
So I had to pivot and say, it's okay that I am good at event planning. It's okay that I'm good at training. It's okay that I'm good at speaking, and that I don't need to do one or the other.
Yeah.
I don't need to be somebody that someone else is saying I need to be, or to make somebody else happy. That's it. I need you, Kathy Taylor. So guess what? I am Kathy Taylor. And I have to own that, and I am going to be okay with that. I am going to walk in that securely, knowing that He made me the way I'm supposed to be.
What an encouragement, though. I mean, because all of us are living that out. Again, it goes back to maybe the way that we were raised. We did the school thing. We focused on a particular track. We started a job, and we're in a cubicle. But it's like, I've got all these other gifts that are like, bursting at the seams. Why can't I do all of what I love? And I appreciate that you are finding space, creating space for that, for everything to come forth. I think it's spiritually fulfilling, right? But it's also materially fulfilling as we start talking about diversifying our income streams. And how could that not be what our Creator intended? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's such an inspiration just to hear you say that. Can I ask this question too, Kathy? I want to ask, what is it about studying and training on kind of personality styles and human behavior? What's exciting about that particular pursuit?
Yeah, that's a great question, Blair. And I'll tell you, the start of that started with me figuring out who I was and what made me tick. in why I was energized about certain things and what made me, can I say, annoyed at certain things.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out what is it, what makes me tick, and then why is it that other people move the way they do, and what makes me sort of, at one point, envy the way someone else was able to talk about certain things. So it sort of started from that place in just self-discovery. And studying human behavior made me started putting people in categories, but it wasn't in a good way per se. So first it started looking at me and then helping me to find a tool, which I found through studying and getting certified using the DISC assessment, to figure out what can I give people, how can I talk to people in a way that they understand and give them what they need, not what I want them to have. And how can I teach other people to do the same? Give people what they need and not what you want them to have.
Yeah. That's powerful. My first thought was around this idea of like zodiac signs, right? And how, sometimes it's accurate, but a lot of times it's not. We need something that's a bit more precise particularly if we want to share it with others. And I love that you took that approach, because ultimately if we're not communicating well, then what are we really doing at all?
Right.
I think that's dynamic. Kathy, how can you be reached for consultation, for public speaking? What do you have going on, and how can we get to you?
So the best way to reach me is through my website, IamKathyTaylor.com. Again, that's IamKathyTaylor.com. And just send me a message through the website. And if you sign up, you will see, because I have a couple of classes or trainings that I am going to be doing sooner than later based on the DISC assessment.
Okay.
That I want to invite people to. And I'm going to start out doing some of them at no cost, because this is so important to me. And there's two sides. The reason why I'm excited about this is because there's two sides. There's the spiritual side, spiritual or faith-based side, and then there's traditional side. So I want to get this information out to people.
Okay.
And help them see how important it is.
IamKathyTaylor.com. IamKathyTaylor.com. I love it. And then any social media?
All right.
Yes, I am Kathy Taylor on Instagram as well as Facebook as well.
All right.
Okay. What else do you want to share? Any kind of tips? I mean, I know, again, I think about these times, I really don't think it can be overstated. I know we're hearing it, on various platforms, but your perspective as far as working with small business owners and helping people with this career coaching and consulting, what kinds of tips are you providing those that you're working with during these times?
The biggest tip, when people come to me first, I say, make sure that you know who you are and what you're doing. Yeah. Because I can't help you figure something out that you don't know yourself. I can help you with the details. I can help you strategize. But if you are not sure the direction that you want to start in, then it's kind of difficult for me to tell you where you're going. And that's not what that's not what you want. You don't want someone else to tell you. That's a conversation that you need to have higher level and then come back, and then I can help you strategize on how to get there.
I love that. Like, I'm not going to do the hard part. There's heavy lifting that's going to be required on your part, and then I can absolutely come in and facilitate once that's done. That's awesome, Kathy. I love it. Reiterate your contact details once more as we're wrapping up here.
Absolutely. You can find me on social media via Instagram or Facebook at I am Kathy Taylor, and via my website, IamKathyTaylor.com.
Perfect. Kathy, thank you so much. I certainly look forward to another conversation as things progress. I think, man, you've got so many wonderful things on the horizon. So definitely looking forward to all that will come out of it.
Absolutely, Blair. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Yes, as do I. Absolutely my pleasure. And a huge thank you to our sponsors. I want to thank Apex Financial Group of Virginia, as well as Milestone Mental Health Agency and the COO team. I certainly want to encourage you to visit yourwellnessinc.net in order to connect with our first guest, Ms. Deborah Harris. Also, for a complimentary consultation with Apex Financial Group of Virginia, it's 757-640-0207. And to connect with the dynamic Kathy Taylor, I am KathyTaylor.com. And thank you for tuning into Black Wall Street today, celebrating 2 years with us. It's been a pleasure for sure. We look forward to talking next week. We're all about building minds, building connections, and forging the path ahead toward business success in the Black community. Talk soon.
This show is brought to you by Positive Vibes Incorporated, our consulting services. We do credit fixes, tax resolution, we lend private money to real estate investors, and we do debt consolidations. Basically, we put money in your pocket when you need money. We put money in your pocket when you need money. 757-932-0177. Throughout the United States, credit fixes, tax resolution, lending private money to real estate investors, and debt consolidation. 757-932-0177. 757-932-0177.
Phenomenal. Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram, and then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said, and I will continue to say, that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party. Phenomenal.
Hey, yo, when I say Black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. When I say Black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say Black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say Black, you say Wall Street. Black. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
Phenomenal.